When people talk about Otto von Bismarck, they usually talk about success. They talk about unification. They talk about diplomacy. They talk about genius. They talk about how one man reshaped Europe without plunging it into endless war. But history is rarely shaped only by what someone builds. It is shaped by what happens after they are gone. And Bismarck's true legacy is not found in the wars he fought, or the treaties he signed. It is found in the moment when the system he built could no longer be controlled. The moment Europe crossed the point of no return. Bismarck did not create Germany by accident. He understood power. He understood fear. And above all, he understood balance. After unification, Germany was strong, stronger than any single rival on the continent. And Bismarck knew that strength made Germany dangerous, not just to others, but to itself. A powerful Germany surrounded by enemies would not survive long. So he did something unusual. He tried to freeze history. Bismarck's goal after unification was not expansion. It was stability. He built a web of alliances designed to isolate France, reassure Austria, avoid war with Russia, and keep Britain neutral. Every treaty had a purpose. Every promise had a limit. He did not believe war was inevitable. He believed war was preventable, if managed carefully. Germany, under Bismarck, did not seek dominance. It sought equilibrium. And for a time, it worked. Europe remained tense, but stable. Crises flared, but they were contained. Diplomacy mattered more than mobilization. Restraint mattered more than pride. Bismarck himself once warned that the next great war in Europe would come from some damned foolish thing in the Balkans. He understood how fragile the system was. That was the irony. The system only worked because he was there to manage it. Bismarck did not create institutions that could replace him. He created relationships that depended on his judgment. When he was removed from power, the balance he maintained did not collapse immediately. But it began to drift. Germany's new leadership did not share Bismarck's fear of isolation. They believed Germany deserved a larger role in the world. They believed power should be displayed, not hidden. They believed the system Bismarck built was too cautious, too defensive, too restrictive. And so, piece by piece, they dismantled it. Treaties were allowed to lapse. Reassurances were withdrawn. Diplomacy became louder, more public, more threatening. Germany no longer sought balance. It sought recognition. This was the turning point. Because once Germany abandoned Bismarck's system, Europe lost its stabilizing center. France was no longer isolated. Russia grew suspicious. Britain grew wary. Austria-Hungary leaned harder on German support. The alliances that followed were not flexible. They were rigid. They were not designed to prevent war. They were designed to win it. Bismarck had built a system where war was a failure of diplomacy. What followed was a system where war was a contingency plan. And once that change occurred, Europe entered a new phase. Crises no longer cooled down. They escalated. Military planning began to dominate political decision-making. Mobilization schedules became deadlines. Speed became more important than caution. The system no longer asked, "How do we avoid war?" It asked, "If war comes, how do we win?" This is where Bismarck's legacy becomes tragic. Not because he caused what followed, but because his success created a structure that others believed they could control without him. They were wrong. The balance Bismarck maintained required restraint, patience, and fear of consequences. The men who followed him believed power could replace judgment. They believed alliances guaranteed safety. They believed war could be managed. By the time Europe reached the early 20th century, the logic had changed completely. Once the system shifted, it could not be reversed. Every state feared being the last to mobilize. Every alliance feared abandonment. Every crisis carried the risk of total collapse. The point of no return was not a single decision. It was a series of assumptions replacing caution. And when the final crisis arrived, there was no Bismarck to slow it down. No figure trusted by all sides. No system flexible enough to absorb shock. No leader willing to say no. War did not come because diplomacy failed. It came because diplomacy no longer existed in the form Bismarck had designed. The legacy of Bismarck is not that he caused catastrophe. It is that once his system disappeared, Europe discovered how little margin for error remained. Germany went from being the anchor of stability to the center of tension. And once that happened, history accelerated. The war that followed would destroy empires, redraw borders, and kill millions. But its roots were not found only in nationalism or militarism. They were found in the loss of balance. Bismarck understood something his successors did not. That power without restraint invites destruction. That alliances without flexibility become traps. That once fear replaces diplomacy, the system cannot hold. By the time Europe realized this, it was already too late. The machinery of war was in motion, and history had crossed the point of no return. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and lets me keep making stories like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.